Put a finger down if you love Twitter and you go to school. Put a finger down if you hug the mommies. Put a finger down if you love the children, get them a hug. Put a finger down if you love me.
Rich kids in quarantine, check. Put a finger down if you have a really nice espresso machine, and so even though Starbucks is closed, you get lattes every day. Put a finger down if you can do whatever kind of workout you want because your home gym is like really, really nice. Put a finger down if after your workout, you can go relax in your sauna, steam room, or hot tub. Put a finger down if you have a giant TV in your room to watch Netflix on. And put a finger down if you're really just waiting for it to get warm outside because you just want to go hang out by your pool. Guilty.
Put a finger down, missing my best friend edition. Put a finger down if you miss your best friend.
Put a finger down if you ever got caught vaping in the bathroom. Put a finger down if you've ever been fired from your job. Put a finger down if you've ever done drugs. Put a finger down if you've ever gotten a detention. Put a finger down if you have a...
Put a finger down annoying things that black people go through edition. Put a finger down if you've been asked, is that your real hair? Put a finger down if your non-black friends have tried to use the N-word around you. Put a finger down if people assume that you know or are related to other random black people. Put a finger down if a non-black person has said something along the lines of, I'm almost your color in the summer. Put a finger down if people have been surprised that you speak so well. Put a finger down if someone's asked if they can touch your hair. Put a finger down if you've been followed in a store for no freaking reason. Put a finger down if someone said something like, I don't see color to you. Put a finger down if you've been told you don't act black. And put a finger down if people assume that you like hip-hop or rap.
Put a finger down, gymnastics/cheer edition. Put a finger down if you've ever cried during practice. Put a finger down if you've had a crush on a teammate. Put a finger down if you've gotten kicked out of a practice. Put a finger down if you've peed in your uniform or Leo. Put a finger down if you've broken a bone during practice. Put a finger down if you've fallen on a tumbling pass at a competition. Put a finger down if you've had a teammate who's your best friend. Put a finger down if you've thrown up at practice. Put a finger down if you've missed a party for practice. Put a finger down if you've gotten yelled at by a coach.
If you put 5 or more fingers down, you're definitely the killer. This one kind of piggybacks off of the character who dies first, so go look at that one too. Put a finger down if you drink milk straight up with nothing in it. Put a finger down if you drink coffee at night. Put a finger down if you don't like being hugged or physical contact in general. Put a finger down if you shower or take baths during thunderstorms. Put a finger down if you don't sleep with a fan on. And put another finger down if you sleep with socks on. Put a finger down if you've prank called people never to tell them it was you. Put a finger down if you don't cry very much. Put a finger down if you don't feel bad after killing a bug. And put a finger down if people have told you your lifestyle choices are strange.
Put a finger down if you've been Snapchatting this guy and he had a really good personality until tonight when y'all made plans for the first time and y'all are supposed to go out and hang out, and then you come home after a long day at work and you curl your hair, you get ready, do your makeup, and you change your clothes and use your good freaking perfume, and then you put on some good shorts that make that booty look good, and then you look at Snapchat, he hasn't even opened up your Snapchat in 2 hours, so you're like, oh, well, wait, well, then you wait, and then he Snapchats you a blank picture and doesn't even bring up the plans, so you're just going to sit in the car for the rest of the night and cry because, you know, you don't want to tell your mom what he did because you already told her that she had a date, and then if I tell her, she's going to want to help me go kill him. That's me.
Do you ever lie in bed with your 3 cats and get obsessed with some boy you met one time 3 years ago in Nashville and you can't remember his last name, I think?
Put a finger down, emotional edition. Now you know the rules, no cheating. We want to see your raw reaction, so pause this video, click duet, and let's get started. Put a finger down if you've ever cried when someone raised their voice at you. Put a finger down if you've ever cried when you saw an animal die in a movie. Put a finger down if you've ever cried because a character died on a show. Put a finger down if you've ever cried while watching a video of soldiers come home to their families. Put a finger down if you've ever cried because you were so stressed. Put a finger down if you've ever cried for absolutely no reason at all. Put a finger down if you've ever cried because of a death of someone that you didn't even know. Put a finger down if you've ever cried from seeing someone else cry.
Put a finger down, relationship edition. Put a finger down if you've ever been in love. Put a finger down if you've ever been in a relationship that lasted more than 4 months. Put a finger down if you've been in more than 4 relationships. Put a finger down if you've ever asked someone out. Put a finger down if you have a promise ring or have ever been given one. Put a finger down if you've ever made a gift for your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Put a finger down if you've ever been on a vacation with your boyfriend or girlfriend. Put a finger down if you're in a relationship right now. Put a finger down if you have a touch bracelet or a love box. Put a finger down if you've ever introduced your parents to your boyfriend or your girlfriend.
Put a finger down if one time you were in Aruba and you were leaving the club and your friend was way too drunk and stumbling all over the place on the way back to the hotel, but then this car pulls over and he's like, rolls his window down and says, hey, let me take you back to the hotel. I can see your friend's really drunk and they can't walk. So then you're like, no, it's fine. Like, we can walk. It's good. And then your friend proceeds to get into the car and then you're freaking out because you can't get your friend out of the car, but you don't want to leave your drunk friend with this random stranger. So then you get in the car too. And then he takes you like back towards the hotel, but then ends up going past your hotel and goes towards the beach. And then he's like pulls onto the beach and then you start freaking out on him, and then he gives you his license and his phone and he's like, oh, just give this to the police if anything happens to you. And then like clearly you know you can't, because like if you're dead you can't do that. And so then you start freaking out thinking Natalie Holloway part 2, and then you like are yelling at him and he starts driving you back towards the hotel and goes past it again, and then you're really freaking out. So then he finally pulls into the hotel because you were going absolutely insane, and he makes jokes about like not letting you go, and then he finally does.
Put a finger down, Netflix Originals Edition. Put a finger down if you've seen The Kissing Booth. Put a finger down if you've seen Stranger Things. Put a finger down if you've seen 13 Reasons Why. Put a finger down if you've seen Fuller House. Put a finger down if you've seen You. Put a finger down if you've seen Bird Box. Put a finger down if you've seen Sierra Burgess is a Loser. Put a finger down if you've seen The Circle. Put a finger down if you've seen Tall Girl. Put a finger down if you've seen Tiger King. Put a finger down if you've seen To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Put a finger down if you've seen The Ranch. And put a finger down if you've seen Outer Banks.
Okay, so put a finger down if you went to high school with a girl who used to bully you for being emo and for self-harm and made fun of it in front of all her friends, and they all laughed and thought it was hilarious. And now she's a famous TikToker whose whole campaign is anti-bullying and claims that she was bullied in school and all that, when she was never ever bullied ever once. In fact, her and her friend group were the popular girls and were the school bullies, and now she has hundreds of thousands of followers and gets hundreds of thousands, sometimes millions, of views on all her videos.
Okay, put a finger down if one time you were really upset at school, like on the verge of a mental breakdown because you were failing a test and your teachers were really mean to you that day. So the last class of the day was choir, and you put your head down on the big piano in the front of the class because you were really pissed off, and this boy comes by and decides that he's going to put his hand and arm on your hair so you can't get up. And so you, in rage, you decide to whip your hand around and hit him on the hand. Instead you miss his hand and hit the piano and makes a really loud sound, and you yell and scream at him like, what's wrong with you, you're so mean, blah blah. So he's really scared of you for a long while, and he apologizes eventually, but then 2 summers later he decides he has a crush on you, and so y'all hang out all summer. Not only not to mention that he's actually super embarrassed of you and won't post you on social media, but then the minute he goes back to school he knows, I'm not going to be there anymore because I'm about to move. So he gets back with sex the same day and never talks to you again, and nobody knows about it.
Okay, put a finger down if you ever got your tonsils out and your surgeon told you between the 7 and 10 day period you'd be at risk for bleeding as your scalp starts to fall off. So you go about your day, and on the night of the 7th day you go to bed and you lean back and all of a sudden you realize that you're choking, and so you go to the bathroom and spit out blood all over your sink and the walls and the floor and realize that you are basically bleeding to death. So you wake up your roommate in the middle of the night and say, hey, no big deal, I'm basically bleeding out, I need you to take me to the hospital. And you grab a trash bag and he drives you all the way to the ER and they check you in and the bleeding stops and they look at the trash bag of blood that you brought, and it turns out that you lost almost twice as much blood as what you would normally donate. Here's me and here's my roommate in the bathroom at the hospital. Look at his face. And here is my bag of blood. Look at that.
Just gonna stand there and watch me burn. Never give up, it's such a wonderful life. I love you like a love song, baby. Baby, you light up my world like nobody else. Now you're just somebody that I used to know. You blow my whistle, baby, whistle, baby. I got summertime sadness. What does the fuck say?
My anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun.
When I met you in the summer.
My friends are heathens, take it slow. No, we don't talk anymore.
I've been fucking hoes and popping pillies, man, I feel just like a rock star.
You make me a believer. Moonlight, nigga, why you tripping? 'Cause you Mariah.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding?
Don't you like it when these diamonds look like respect?
Put a finger down, actual hoe edition.
Put a finger down if you've ever been in a relationship.
Put a finger down if you've ever had a hickey.
Put a finger down if you went back to him after he fucked you over.
Put a finger down if you've ever hooked up with an ex.
Put a finger down if you talked to someone who had a girlfriend.
Put a finger down if you've ever hooked up with a stranger.
Put a finger down if you made out with 3 or more people in one night.
Put a finger down if you've tried to be a hoe but caught feelings.
Put a finger down if you played with someone for your own enjoyment.
Put a finger down if you talked to multiple guys in the same friend group.
Put a finger down if you've ever hooked up with more than 3 people.
Put a finger down if you've ever been a booty call.
Put a finger down if you've ever hooked up in the car.
Put a finger down if you've ever taken a pregnancy test.
And put a finger down if you've ever hooked up with someone while someone was in the room.
Put a finger down if you've ever bought a girlfriend a butt plug for their birthday, not knowing they're going to be opening that gift later in front of all of their family. And as that's happening, you get super nervous and your face gets really red. And as she's pulling the plug out of the box, you get an erection, because when you get super nervous, you get an erection. All of a sudden, everyone's staring at you in your erection, and then her grandmother walks to the room and sees your erection and sees her granddaughter holding onto a butt plug, and just from that, she faints, she falls into the ground. Everyone is staring at the grandma, then all of a sudden, everyone looks to you, and everyone is staring at you, and you don't know what to do, so you just run out of there, and you don't stop running until you get all the way home. And then the only other time you talk to that girl again is a text message a week later that says, "My family calls you the butt plug bandit."
Okay, put a finger down if you've ever told a funny joke to your friends and they start laughing and they keep laughing, and then you're like, oh, that's pretty good. I did a good job. That was pretty funny. They're laughing at my joke. And then they keep laughing and they keep laughing, and then soon enough you're like, hold up, it was funny, but it wasn't that funny. And they keep laughing and you're starting to get suspicious, and then slowly you start to piece together that they're not laughing at your joke at all. They're laughing at something else entirely, something that you missed because you were off busy telling a mediocre joke. And now you're sitting there trying to laugh, but you have no idea what's going on, and you're just at this point struggling to feel like you belong. And your friends are laughing their heads off, and every once in a while they give you a glance that says, you think you're one of us, but you're not.